very quick video. Um, yes, I know, cute. Anyways, about hypocrisy. One thing I understood about hypocrisy is that it's linked to resentment, and resentment is linked to not being assertive. So, wait, I need to clarify something. I just looked up the definition of the word hypocrisy, and it states that it's the practice of claiming to have moral standards or beliefs to which one's own behavior does not conform. And this is not exactly what I am referring to. I'm not referring to the values or beliefs or the general image that you portray to people being false, but rather the feelings that you have towards people. This is very hard to admit, but I have been a hypocrite. I can be hypocritical sometimes, and it mostly had to do with resentment. How do I define resentment? Resentment is not is to stop being who you used to be with the person you resent. Not allowing yourself to be the way you used to be with the person you resent. So let's say you were a joyful person with that person, you were very loving, you would go out with them all the time, you would play games, you would do a bunch of stuff, you would talk on the phone every now and then, and then for some reason, let's say they did something that was legitimately bad to you, okay, and you just don't know how to talk about it. You don't know how to confront that person. You don't know how to show your anger, your hurt, okay, your disappointment. You just don't know how to do that. It's very difficult. And so you let it go. You let it go. But you never really let it go. So that's what sits there. And it creates a negative feeling toward that person. But in your mind, you want to be good to that person. You want to be like before. You want to reconciliate, right? But you don't know how to do that. And you don't necessarily know how reconciliation is possible at that point. So you let it sit, and then it becomes latent, and that latent negative feeling, which is the resentment, what it does in practice is it keeps you from being as loving as you were to that person. Let's say you will try to show your aggression, let's say, or your anger, your hatred, even your pain in different ways. So some people will tell you about passive aggressiveness, where people would try to kind of sneak in some comments or they talk to you in a certain way. But there's also non-perceivable aggression, which is not necessarily passive aggressiveness, because passive aggressiveness would be something that is more like verbal, I'd say. Yeah, verbal, right? Like through sarcasm, through teasing and stuff like that. Anyways, but there is the aggression that is non-perceivable, where you would take actions that are not necessarily good, either towards that person, or let's say you would remove yourself from things that you used to do, or you won't react as genuinely or as openly as enthusiastically as before. So for example, let's say you used to play games, now you would play games less often, and that is something that I used to do. And it's because there was this fight within me saying, okay, yeah, I love this person, I want to keep being friends with them, but at the same time they did something that hurt me so badly that I couldn't but I don't know how to tell them that. So because of this, I try to show it in a different way, but it's not working. It's not working. So the resentment will make you then become hypocritical because you still laugh with that person and you still try to be okay with them, but deep down what you're feeling is anger. You're mad at them, right? Yeah. So you're mad at them, right? um yeah. So that's why okay, Dominique. That's why a assertiveness and resentment and hypocrisy are all linked. So if you don't want to be hypocritical, try to be assertive. I know it's very, very hard, especially depending on how you grew up, and sometimes you don't have a great sense of identity. You don't know how to set your boundaries. But if you don't like that, if you don't like being hypocritical, you need to assert yourself. And this is how it is you're gonna be able to maintain better relationships. Just express it. Say it out loud. I don't like this. You hurt me. This was so bad. It's difficult, but once you get there, because sometimes I've had good relationships with people that I was kind of like, we would fight, but it's not a type of fight that is necessarily bad, but it's a type of fight where I'm like, I'm clear about what I want. I'm clear about what I don't like. We're clear, right? So we can be a little bit aggressive, but it's clear, and we know each other. We don't like. So I've seen that in family dynamics, and I've seen that with some people with their family where they would be like, oh my god, I do it. This is not it. I don't like it. I don't like it. And then 2 minutes later, they're like, okay, whatever. You know, I already go past it because they were both able to express that they didn't like what was happening, which is completely normal in nature. Like you do something to your cat that they don't like, they're going to show it to you. So it's only normal that you as a person get to express things that you don't like. And I'm saying this as someone that struggles to be assertive sometimes. So remember this and be compassionate with yourself. There are many people who are going through that too. They may be hypocritical for different reasons. I'm not saying this is the sole reason, but it may be one of the greatest ones. Okay, but the first thing is to admit to yourself that you can be hypocritical sometimes. And as I'm saying this does not mean that you're a bad person overall or that you're hypocritical with everybody. That's not the case for me either. But I've had instances or relationships in which I was not completely honest. So I hope this helps. Self-compassion always, and you're gonna be good to go. All right.